Okay, so we are going to be talking about manifesting whatever it is you want, in particular health, because we're on the health journey here on this channel. We do talk a lot about manifesting with spiritual things as well, and abundance, and of course, you know, all of that. But right now we are going to be talking about health in particular, and health is wealth, right? Health, if you have no health, then there doesn't matter how much money you have, because it doesn't matter if you are in bed all the time sick, right? So in my last video that I spoke about manifesting with water, we talked about how Dr. Emoto had done these studies years ago, like 20 some years ago, and I have all his books, and I have been teaching this for over 20 years, of how the structure of water changes depending on what intention, what we were saying, and what we were thinking. So let me just back up real quickly. So when we are speaking or thinking something positive, these water crystals that Dr. Emoto had placed under a microscope had changed into beautiful crystals. So when they were thinking positive things, when they were saying positive things, they were changing into beautiful crystals. And then every single time, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times that they were saying negative or thinking negative things in any format, like any type of negative thought, any type of negative word, then they were distorted crystals. They were distorted, they were ugly. You can look this up online. And over the years, so many other people have done in-depth studies with this, showing that water holds memory. Water has a consciousness that changes depending on the consciousness around. Now, we have to take a look at ourselves. So we are made up of 78, 80% water. And so what you are saying to yourself and what you're putting out to the world on a daily basis is affecting you. It is affecting your health. So if you're even thinking something negative about somebody else, that negativity is affecting your body. So it's just like that saying goes. That saying is, when you drink poison and you're expecting somebody else to die, yeah, that other person to die. And it doesn't work that way. So what happens is that our words, our emotions, and our thoughts negatively towards other people are directly affecting us and our health. And the same thing goes with, you know, ourselves. A lot of the times we are the biggest enemy, right? So what are you saying to yourself on a daily basis? What are you thinking about yourself on a daily basis? And a lot of these things, you guys, I wanted to make this known because a lot of it is very subconscious, that it's programmed behavior that we've had since we were children. And you know, a lot of this is like things that we've been told, things that have been sold to us by our parents, family, friends, environment, schooling system, especially schooling systems, and that, you know, we have led a life that we don't feel like we are good enough. We have lived a life that we don't feel like we are deserving of having the wonderful things that we could have in life. So we keep ourselves small. And so by realizing this and taking note of, you know, now that you have this awareness, how are you speaking to yourself on a daily basis? How many negative thoughts are coming in? How does it spiral down when you're in environment of your friends or in work environment, or if you were in, you know, out with anybody? How do you see yourself? How are you speaking to yourself and feeling about yourself in that situation? And a lot of those thoughts and feelings that you have are not even from you. They've been programmed for you. So this is a really good starting point. This is a good realization, because we have the opportunity and the chance to change that. And we can change that frequency and that energy that we have been putting out to ourselves for however many years. And by utilizing water, we can take a glass of water every single night. I like to do it at nighttime. And what I will do is I will say a prayer. For next video, I'm going to talk a lot about prayer, and how, even if you're not religious, I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person, but how prayer has been scientifically now shown. Never needed the scientific proof, because I just always knew that it worked. But there is scientific proof that shows how prayer does work. And so when we're praying on this glass of water and saying, thank you so much, now you're praying as though your health is already where you want it to be. So thank you so much for this beautiful health that I have. Thank you so much for my cells in my body being youthful and vibrant and healthy. And every day I wake up with so much energy. And as I go to sleep, I have the most beautiful deep sleeps. Thank you so much for this. I love you. These water crystals are changing its structure. You are going to drink half the glass of water, and you are going to see the very next day when you wake up, that water overnight is going to charge. So the rest of the glass is going to charge. you're going to wake up because you're going to go to bed with good intentions, right? And then you're going to wake up the next day and you're going to drink the rest of the glass of water. And you are going to do this for 30 days. And I want to hear from you how this process has changed you and affected you in positive ways, or if at all, because I know throughout the years, I have seen for myself tremendous results in doing this. And I have also seen it in my clients and friends and family. And so by praying over your water and by saying good intentions, then it is changing what is happening within inside of you and changing your cellular structure. And as you begin that awareness journey of how you were speaking to yourself, you can start to change that. And as I've said in a lot of my other videos, is you can say, cancel that whenever a negative thought comes up, and that you can reprogram your mind over time, and especially as you're going to sleep at night, to have a better quality feelings towards yourself. And over time, you will change the old way of thinking, and then you will change your behavior towards yourself. And then what you will notice is that people's behavior outside of you will begin to change. Why is this true? Is because what is happening on outside of us in the world is usually a mere reflection of the way we actually think about ourselves. And so we're always being reflected back to us what we think about ourselves. And so this is very important to also realize, because then once you become more self-empowered and you're on this journey of wellness and, self-development and loving yourself, that everybody else around you is going to begin to change, or they're going to start to fall out of your life because they no longer vibrate at the same frequency as you, and they, are not needed in your life. And new people that want to uplift you and support you and believe in you and want to, be kind to you are going to come into your life. You're going to see this. So I hope this helps. Talk to you in the next video.